Hello guys, Matt here with Matt's Vintage Video Games. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Retron 5. The Retron 5 is a piece of garbage, to be honest with you. Don't buy it. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Here's the major thing about the Retron 5. Yes, it plays Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and Game Boy Advance games, and also has the ability to play Famicom and Super Famicom, which are Japanese versions of the NES and the Super NES. Here's the major problem. They don't work about 75% of the time. Meaning, you could take it out of the box, brand new, open it up, and something's wrong with it. 75% of the time. Now you don't have to take my word for it. You know, please don't take Hyperkin's word for it. Go out there and YouTube it, search it. There's probably thousands of people like me that are telling you the same thing. Don't buy this piece of crap. First of all, it's made in China. So, everything's made in China, but it's made with the cheapest possible plastic that I've ever seen. It must be almost paper thin. I might be exaggerating a little bit. It's thin, guys. It's cheap. It's very, very lightweight and cheap. Second thing I'll tell you, sometimes it'll play Nintendo games, it won't play Sega games, it'll play Super Nintendo games, it won't play Nintendo games, it'll play Sega Genesis games, it won't play Game Boy Advance games. It's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get. Maybe you're lucky and you lucked out and you get a good one. Maybe it'll work for you for 2 days or 20 days or 100 years. I don't know. But I can tell you this. I've been buying, selling, trading games for several years now. And of all of them that I've ever had, most of them had to be returned back to the Hyperkin to get another one replaced. And 2 of the replacements that I've gotten from Hyperkin directly did not work when I got them out of the box. So, the one I bought from another retailer that's a friend of mine, and he ordered a couple from me and returned a couple at one time. Come back not working. So, I mean, can you understand what a problem that is? I don't want to sell stuff in my store, and knowing that it's got problems. It's brand new in the box, but 50% working, 50% not working, and you give me $150. And if I'm buying them factory direct even, with my EIN number and a vendor license and all that stuff, I'm still paying $100 a piece for these things. $100. And I'm hoping to make 145, 150. And now they're going down and down and down in price. And why? Why? Because they're junk. That's why. So if you see one on eBay and you think, wow, $50, well, you better read what you're buying, because they'll be real sure to put in a little fine print down there at the bottom of somewhere in their listing, oh, this thing doesn't work right, or it's missing this, or it's busted, or something. So just a heads up. You looking for the Retron 5? Think again. I'd go somewhere else, be honest with you. I'd buy something else. So what about the Retron 1? Even more of a piece of crap than the Retron 5. Retron 1s, I used to buy them, keep them in stock. People are looking for a Nintendo, don't want to spend $100, which is like what Nintendos are going for right now. It's a bundle complete, Mario, Duck Hunt, and things like that. $100. Some people, man, I don't want to spend $100. I just want it for nostalgia reason. I remember playing this when I was a kid. I know I can get the game for about $10 or $15. I just want to play Nintendo again. Well, Retron 1 was a cheaper option. These things are so cheap, just like the Retron 5. The plastic is paper thin and it's so lightweight. The pins are barely soldered onto the board, so if you rip the game out, you'll rip the pin right off the board, and then it's garbage. If you're not careful, the actual pin connector inside of it, if you pull the cartridge out just a little bit too hard, it'll bend those pins straight up. The pins will be all out of alignment. The games aren't going to work anymore. The things are, you can get them online for $15, $20, $20, $25, maybe, $30 depending on where you go. They're garbage. Don't waste your money. Save up your money. Go out and buy a working Nintendo console for between $60 and $100, depending on what you want with it. That's what I would do. Why buy some aftermarket crap that's going to break on you right away? Now, I will say this: the Retron 2s I've done pretty well with. I can buy them factory direct. They're pretty good. I haven't had one yet that was bad. I haven't had one come back. They're a really pretty good console. Now, they're still made in China. They're still lightweight, but they're not as lightweight as the Retron 1 or the Retron 5. So why in the middle Retron 2s were better, I don't know. But they will play all the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, and they're a pretty good system. I do like them. And I'll resell them when I can get them. The problem is, you got to pay about between $35 and $45 for them, and try to sell them for $50. So even with my vendor license, getting them factory direct as a vendor, I'm making $5 or $10. I mean, it's not worth that, So I don't get them often because of that reason. The only reason I'm going to get one is if it comes in, or I can find a deal on them, or get a special savings discount or something like that. Otherwise, I can't buy them. They're just not, there's not enough money on them. But if you're looking to buy, a Retron 5, settle with the Retron 2. If you really, really, really got to have that Genesis capability or that Game Boy Advance capability, go buy yourself a Genesis, guys. I sell them for like $35 or $40 all day long. It may be $50 with a bundle, but depending on what you want, I'm going to hook you up. Come in and see me. I'll take care of you. Genesis is pretty cheap. A Game Boy Advance is pretty cheap. $40 or $50, you can get an SP, a nice one. And I've got bundles all set up too, guys. So, and the last point I want to make about this Retron 5, and this is the biggest point of all. You think that you're putting that cartridge in that Retron 5 and playing that cartridge. You're not. You're playing an emulator. That system already has the whole entire log of all the games for the consoles that it plays, the emulators, the ROM files, embedded into that system's memory. It will not let you play that game until it reads that matching chip. So what I'm telling you is that you think you're playing that cartridge that you just put in the system, and you're playing an emulator, a ROM. You want a ROM files, I'll sell you every game they ever made for a couple $100. That's all complete, includes all the fabrications, all the wiring, the workings. It's like a multi-arcade machine. You got to check me out. These things are neat. Just check my website, mattsvintagevideogames.com. I'll hook you up. Emulators and ROMs are everywhere. Everybody can get them. You can get them on your phones. You can get them. You can download them to Pies. You can. There's all kinds of different ways to get these ROMs anymore, guys. I mean, why are you going to pay $150 to a company that just put them onto a device, and then you can't even play them until you have that game? So it's like having all these ROMs that you can't use until you buy the game file that will allow you to play that ROM. So you want to play, well, some games won't even work. I mean, that's another issue there. Not all games are going to work for the system. You need to look it up. Google it, you know what I mean? Not all games will work for this system. Most will, but there is definitely a pretty good list of games that will not work. That goes for the Retron 1, 2, and 3, and 5. Retron 3, by the way, totally garbage. Don't buy that at all. Wireless controllers are an absolute joke. Anyway, without getting completely off topic here, don't buy this piece of crap. That's about all I have to say about that. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. Visit me online, www.mattsvintagevideogames.com, as I already said. Or like me on Facebook, guys. Facebook.com/mattsvintagevideogames.